All right. This is a quick reference to sketching absolute value inequalities. We started it in class, but I wanted to go over it a little bit more. So remember, like when you had algebra, if you had x equals 2, x equals 2 says that it's exactly 2. It's not greater than, it's not less than, it's not 2.5. Now, x is greater than 2 means it doesn't equal 2. It could be 2.00005, but it's not exactly 2. It could be 3. It could be 7. Be 9. Numbers that are bigger than 2 are numbers to the right, but they're not exactly on 2. They're to the right of 2. So notice that's not a closed circle like the previous one. It's an open circle. X is less than 2. Numbers that are less than 2 are numbers like, -3, 0, 1.99993. Numbers that are less than 2, again, are not equal to 2, so it's an open circle, but they're smaller than 2. X is greater than or equal to 2. Means they could equal 2. It all could be numbers bigger than 2, right? And x is less than or equal to 2. Again, it could equal 2, or it could be numbers less than 2. So open circles refers to when it's just greater than or less than. Notice it doesn't have that equal sign, right? And those closed circles, notice it has the equals. So when we sketch something like y equals 5 times the absolute value of 1/2 x minus 3. First thing you want to do is you want to rewrite this. Okay. So you want to rewrite it because you can't have this half inside. Remember, you can only have absolute value of x. So y equals 5 times the absolute value of half times the absolute value of x minus 3. The absolute value of half is half, so we have 5 times half times the absolute value of x minus 3, which is y equals 5 halves times the absolute value of x minus 3. Your vertex here is 0, -3. So we're going to go down onto the y-axis. And your a is 5 halves. What that means is you're going to go up 5, right and left 2. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right and left 2. Now that's an equal sign. If I were to change this problem and instead of equals, what if it was greater than or equal? How would that change the problem? Okay. Well, that greater than or equal, so that equal sign right there, okay? So this symbol right here, this equal sign, means that it's going to be a solid graph. And this symbol greater than, numbers that are bigger than, means you're going to shade above. And so when I shade above, I always start at the vertex and then I shade above. So let's try it again. I'm using a different writing tool, so we're checking it out. So y is less than -2 minus 1/3 times the absolute value of 9x minus 18. So the first thing you want to do is you want to rewrite this, right? So I want to rewrite this so that I don't have the absolute value of 9x minus 18. So you want to factor out that 9, and you're left with x minus 2. Now remember that I want to factor out that. So this is the absolute value of 9 and the absolute value of x minus 2. Well, the absolute value of 9 is 9. And I could simplify this. Let me see if I could do a different color. Okay. So I can simplify this. 2 goes into 9 3 times, right? And so I get y is less than -2. And this -1 times 3 is -3 times the absolute value of x minus 2. Now, usually we don't have the number in front. Usually we have the number behind the absolute value. So you see that constant -2. Usually that goes behind. So we would write this as y is less than -3 times the absolute value of x minus 2 minus 2. So where's the vertex? I like this rainbow marker here. Vertex is 2, comma, -2. So write 2 down 2. And that A is -3/1. So that means to go down 1, 2, 3, right and left 1. And I can make it a little bigger, so I can continue to go down 3, right and left 1. So down 1, 2, 3, right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, left 1. Is this going to be dotted or is this going to be solid? Well, this less than symbol, because there's no equal, so no equal means that it's a dotted line, right? That it's going to be a dotted absolute value function because it can't be exactly that amount. It has to be less than that amount. And this symbol right here, that greater, that less than symbol means to shade under, right? So shade under, I start at the vertex and I work my way down. So just to go over a couple more, just to make sure you got it, okay? I'll try to go a little bit faster. So y is greater than or equal to -3/5 times the absolute value of 6 minus 10x. So first thing I want to do is I want to rewrite this. Now, you might want to rewrite this by writing it as y is greater than or equal to -3/5 times the absolute value of -10x plus 6. factor out that negative 10. So negative 10 times the absolute value of x. And then 6 divided by negative 10 is negative 6/10. We'll worry about reducing that afterwards. Now, remember that you're trying to take the absolute value of negative 10. The absolute value of negative 10 is 10. And I can reduce that 6/10 to 3/5. So let's see here. So 5 goes into 10 twice. And then I can go y is greater than or equal to negative 6 times the absolute value of x minus 3/5. So where's my vertex? Remember, my vertex is always the opposite of the inside. Keep the outside. So its opposite would be 3/5, comma, there's no number outside, so it's 3/5, 0. And I know for some you're like, 3/5. Okay, well, that's between 0 and 1. So we're just going to make the best of it. It's close, somewhere between 0 and 1, a little bit more than half. A is negative 6 over 1, which means you're going to go down 6, right and left 1. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because you're in the middle, when you go right when you're going to be in the middle, and when you go left when you're going to be in the middle. Now, solid or dotted, right? So this symbol right here, the equal sign again, so the equal means that it's a solid line because it could be exactly that amount. And the greater than means to shade above. So you're going to start at the vertex and you're going to do shade above this or outside of this. Okay. All right, so let's see if we could do this next one. Apologize, I write kind of big and therefore it kind of goes over to the next problem. So let's try this last example right here. Y is so y is greater than 1/2 minus 1/3. Oops, let's change that. Y is greater than 1/2 minus 3 times the absolute value of 1/3 x plus 1. So make sure you're not just paying attention, but you're actually trying to do these problems yourself. Okay. So you want to rewrite this. So y is greater than 1/2 minus 3 times the absolute value of 1/3 times x. And remember, you kind of have to ask yourself, what is that number going to be, right? When you factor out a 1/3, dividing by 1/3 is the same as multiplying by 3. You have to ask yourself, 1/3 times x is 1/3 x, but 1/3 of what is 1? So if I were to multiply this 1 by 3, I'd get 3. And then you want to factor out that 1/3. So y is greater than 1/2 minus 3 times 1/3 times the absolute value of x plus 3. 3 divided by 3, those will cancel out. So I'm left with y is greater than 1 minus 1 times the absolute value of x plus 3. And you can leave it like that, but for many of you, you're probably going to want to take this 1 and move it to the back. So it's y is greater than negative 1 times the absolute value of x plus 3 plus 1. Okay, that plus 1 does not change the value. So where's your vertex? Well, your vertex is the opposite of the inside. Keep the outside. So we have negative 3 comma 1. A is negative 1, and anytime it's not a fraction, you're going to put it as a fraction. So it's down 1, right and left 1. And I can keep going down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, and so on. Is it solid or is it dotted? Well, greater than. So again, there's no equal, so it's dotted. And greater. So if something's bigger, it means to shade above. So I'm going to make this dotted. And shade above means you start at the vertex and you give it some spiky hair. Okay, so if you need any help, send me a remind message, send me a Google Classroom message, and I will definitely make time to help you. Have a great day.